My friends, this day has long been in the making. My people, the time for waiting is over. Will you stand with the ferocity of wolves? Sworn to avenge my father, to destroy Steinar for his treachery.
I shall crack your skull and use your brains to grease my sword!
You told me that when I was strong, when I was ready, you would join me. I would fight Steinar with my bare hands. And nothing, neither you, nor the gods, nor Ragnarok itself could stand in my way!
We will see who is still standing at this day's end!
Hey everyone, welcome to a Tripwire Presents live stream. I'm Mia Molly. Whoops, I can hear myself and I will not be able to stream like that. I am now muted. Hi, happy Norse Day. We are celebrating the release of Norse on PC. If you haven't heard of Norse, it's a turn-based tactical Viking saga set in Dark Age, Norway. And we're super excited for you guys to get your hands on it today. With us, we have Phil and Adam, and I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves a little bit. Hi, Phil, tell us a little bit about what you do at Arctic Hazard.
How you doing? Well, I'm the narrative director for Norse Oath of Blood. So it's been my responsibility to bring the story to life in line with the gameplay and, bring this tale of Viking revenge to the world.
Yes, awesome. And if I wasn't clear, this is one of our publishing projects that we have partnered with Arctic Hazard on, and we were super excited that you guys finally get your hands on it today. What do we want to? Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. you want to say hi?
Sure. Hi, I'm Adam Hatch. I'm a game director here for Tripwire Presents. We've been working alongside Arctic Hazard and Phil here. Very, very happy to see Norse release today.
Awesome. Okay. What do we want to start with here first? We're gonna get a little bit into the dev diaries.
Sure.
Dev diary one.
Okay.
Let's queue up the.
Yeah, our first glimpse at the behind the scenes of Norse is our story dev diary that gives a little bit of a peek behind the scenes of the process that we approach the narrative aspect of Norse with.
Warhorn.
Someone is attacking us.
Norse is a turn-based tactics game. The story of Norse is about revenge. It's been a dream getting to do a game in this genre.
You must go. Get away.
And it follows a character called Gunnar Gripson. He's the son of a powerful Viking chieftain. And his father is betrayed by his trowman, Steinar Farspear. He takes the settlement of Bora. Gunnar and his twin sister Sigrid have to escape to save their lives. And the rest of the game is about them gaining the power to take revenge, go back, take back their birthright, and destroy Steinar.
It's the story about grief, really.
You've gone from childhood to, no, now you're in charge.
Yeah.
Now you have to
Yeah.
face up to it very quickly
Yeah.
and come to terms. And I think they've done quite well in showing that in the story and in the gameplay.
Yeah,
that,
how they
that
progress.
you evolve as a character.
I reached out to Giles Christian. A week later, I was in London talking to him and his agent, and the rest is history.
At the time, I'd already written 6 novels in the Viking period, so the idea of getting involved again, getting on a long ship and going raiding was an opportunity I couldn't turn down.
Blood! For blood!
The approach for us was to create a cinematic experience, a kind of playable historical epic. Something that players would remember as much for the storyline as for the gameplay.
Norse is an archetypal Viking story of revenge, honor. You know, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we're trying to get the human aspects of the Viking world. In terms of, you know, when a Viking warrior died, the most important residuum that he could leave behind after death was his reputation. So we wanted to really play with the idea of our young hero Gunnar striving to take his revenge on the man who betrayed his father, Jarl, becoming a war leader in his own right, sort of seeing his confidence grow as the story progresses.
When you read the sagas are filled with tales of revenge. It would have been naive of us to try and avoid that part of the Viking mythos.
But we will need a warband at our backs, and the favor of the gods.
Our heroes are Gunnar and Sigrid. We wanted to make Gunnar a little bit cocky at times. Yes, he does have times when he wonders whether he's ready to go on this big journey and to be the leader and to take on the responsibility. You know, you're leading people into battle. That's a big thing to do, and at times he wonders if he's ready to do that. But ultimately, he's always up for the challenge.
Sigrid is Gunnar's conscience. She levels him, keeps him in his place.
I have brought ruin upon us.
Are you so arrogant, brother, that you think everything is about you?
It's really rare that you get anything that's so cinematic in gaming. It just read immediately like a piece of cinema.
But we need to be strong. I need you to be strong.
Steinar Farspear is the quintessential Viking. You know, we haven't painted him as a villain because he's only doing what Vikings did.
His reasons for betraying his Jarl, I think, are quite understandable. So Steinar is a warrior, and he grew up with Jarl when they were friends and they were raiding together. They were living the ultimate Viking life, doing all the fun stuff. As the village and the town sort of grew, Jarl wanted to settle down, and Steinar Farspear felt that was a little bit of a betrayal of what they'd set out to do. So that's where the tension is between those two characters.
We're just so excited for people to play the game. It's been a labour of love for us as a studio, and we really have put our hearts and souls into it. And yeah, we're really excited to see how people interact with the world of Norse.
After players have done a playthrough of Norse, I really hope they're left feeling excited and want more. So as long as we bring us a smile to players' faces, we achieved our goal. You have to see for yourself.
I will prove myself to you and the gods!
There we go. All right. Thank you, guys. And of course, that is up on YouTube for you guys to pass around and enjoy or watch again later if you want to. Yeah, so super exciting. Norse. What I love about Norse is how story heavy it is. The concentration on narrative is inspiring to me. I don't know that much about Norse and Viking, but you guys seem like you've put together something that you're trying to lean into the historical accuracy while balance, a fun story. So
yeah, that was the aim. We wanted to try and find a way of including a strong narrative thread in a turn-based game, something that we'd not seen a great deal of before. it's become more popular in the last couple of years. But you've seen games like Baldur's Gate and obviously Expedition 33 that have really pushed that narrative cinematic experience for the player whilst walking hand in hand with turn-based combat systems. And that was what we wanted to try and do, to try and bring a believable, visceral, exciting Viking story to players that also enjoyed the turn-based tactics platform. It's been challenging, it's been a hard thing to do because we wanted to make sure that we were giving the players the flexibility that they would require from a turn-based game. At the same time, that restricts you slightly when it comes to narrative. You have to find ways of tying those two things together and threading them through both the combat aspects and also the storyline. But I think we've really struggled and pushed to get a balance of those things. I think we've been really successful in that. We've got a cast of brilliant characters. We've been blessed to have a really great cast of actors come on board and perform those lines. Obviously, we have an incredible writer, Giles Christian, international bestseller, who has a strong pedigree when it comes to writing Viking stories. And he's really led this tale of revenge in the best Viking way possible. He's really given us characters that players can become invested in, can believe in, can laugh at, and really feel like they're part of that Viking world. It's quite difficult, really, to create a believable Viking world because we have a wide range of evidence. It's pretty vast, but at the same time, it's not that extensive. So there's lots of areas where you have to fill in the blanks. That creates a lot of potential conjecture from the experts out there in the world, and we've had to tread carefully. So what we've always said is that this game is historically inspired rather than historically accurate. At the same time as hopefully creating a really visceral Viking experience that you could believe actually happened.
Very cool. Is there anything in particular that you really, with Norse history or whatever, that you really, I really want to make sure we get this in. This is something that maybe people aren't as familiar with, or any of that?
I think it's dispelling the illusion that the Scandinavian raiding people, Vikings, as they're kind of popularly called, were just bloodthirsty killers. These people were farmers, craftsmen. They had very rich spiritual lives. They traveled extensively, far greater than any other group of people during that period of history. And they were fascinated in exploring the world, and they were explorers rather than raiders. Yes, with that, and due to the kind of the nature of the time, if you wanted something, you had to take it, and you took it using force. And quite often, these people were trying to find better places to live, better places to farm, better infrastructures, better places they could call their own. And by doing so, that often meant that they would have to deal with the people that were already there in a forceful manner, which gave them the reputation that they've got. But we really wanted to try and tie in some of that spirituality, some of that, the poetry of the Viking Age. And I think we've managed to do that.
Yeah. Adam, on your end, coming from Tripwire's side, what was there something unique about Norse when you guys came across it? What pulled you in with the story and the approach to narrative in this game?
I mean, the story and cinematic quality is just phenomenal. Every time I'm watching the cinematics, I feel like I'm watching a Netflix series. And it's beautifully done, well crafted. And there was something that Phil had said a while back that I thought kind of resonates in this game, in that Viking culture is about storytelling. There's a lot of storytelling in Viking culture, I guess, and it's great to see that kind of coming together in this game. And aside from the gorgeous cinematics and the great story, is the gameplay. Turn-based tactical. It's very fun to sit down and just kind of play out your tactical actions and build your settlement and whatnot. So it's very cool.
Do you guys have favorite characters? I know we've seen some reactions to a few in particular, but does anybody just kind of capture your heart in the game?
That's a difficult question for me to answer because I'm torn in different directions. It's very much like, who's your favorite child? But also, I actually also voice and perform some of the characters as well. So some of those have a slightly closer place to my heart as well. But I think from my perspective, I think it's got to be Holty, the farmer. I think that he is always fun to watch. A fantastic actor, Adam Fox, plays him with aplomb.
And him and his wife. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, for me, it has to be Forreston. I feel like I can about Blacksmith. I feel like I can relate to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel like it's funny now. I watched Torsten, even though I played him, I still feel like he's such a separate entity to me that I'm always quite pleased to see him. But yeah, we've got such a range of amazing characters and fantastic actors that play them. Gail Aug, our flirtatious farmer's wife, seamstress, is brilliant. We've got obviously Gunnar and Sigrid. They're archetypal. They're heroes, but they're heroes with flaws, and they're kind of they're rich. They give all the other characters places to go. They give them emotional spaces to work in. We really feel like we've pushed the boat out when it comes to characters in this game. I've certainly got a soft spot for all of them.
Yeah, I agree. They feel like you could meet someone on the street that has like a little seed of a personality trait. Like, you know what I mean? They're believable and they're fun. There's humor when appropriate and other emotions that it feels like a complete and yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to meet Steinar on the street. I think you'd cross over to the other side of the road. He's a bit scary.
Yes, fair. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and roll the second dev diary for you guys in case you missed that. You want to remind us, Phil, what the second diary focuses on?
Yeah, the second diary focuses on world building and the approach that we've taken to building a believable Viking world.
So.
The goal of NORSE was to make something we all wanted to play ourselves.
And it's all handcrafted, handmade.
Our game designers and world designers, they have a big toolbox that they can play with as we create our new missions, and just always, give something new, a new challenge, maybe a new wrinkle on that same challenge.
No! It's mine.
Unreal been a fantastic tool for us.
The introduction of Nanite and Lumen and MetaHuman made so many tasks much easier. It's a great tool for us to create characters very, very quickly.
Very easy to work with, fully integrated into Unreal.
There is so much that you can do with that technology, and we can really capture every nuance of performance. We can have a tear roll down a cheek. We can have that moment where someone looks and reacts, and it's captured. It's allowed us to produce a game that is, at its heart, a story filled with rich emotion and nuance.
What if Odin thinks we are cowards?
Then we must show Odin that we are no cowards.
It's a lot, and you've kind of got the whole rig on.
There were aspects of the physicality we had to be really careful with.
Yeah.
We couldn't just embrace each other.
Yeah.
We couldn't get too close to each other because this piece of equipment is in front of your head, and so you'd be affecting the sensors, you'd be affecting so that was For me, that was a challenge.
Yeah,
I've never
that's
done
a
that kind
yeah,
of thing.
definitely, yeah, same here, yeah.
Hold the beast of Loki's brood.
Seeing the cutscenes that we've written come to life in the studio with the motion capture,
I got you, Snake!
that's been one of my favourite things.
I have returned with a gift. What gift? An opportunity.
The world of Norse focuses heavily on the characters. We put focus on creating the backstory of our characters, their wants and their needs. So you hopefully feel a much stronger attachment to the characters as you experience their story and help them along in achieving their ultimate goals.
From the ashes of your world, you have built something new.
The goal of making this game was to give players an authentic Viking experience. What kind of aspirations or thoughts and journeys they were on personally.
And we feel that we have done our utmost when it comes to gathering the information that is actually out there viable.
We took actual satellite data as a starting point for our maps. So, with our art Bible and our biome maps in mind, we could pick some very interesting locations that can be visual distinct, that is unique, that you haven't seen like this in a game before.
We're blessed, we're a Norwegian-based studio, so we could visit those places, we could see them, we could see what's left, and could see how hard it would have been in that period of history to survive in that environment.
I'm a very big fan of environmental storytelling, so we try to create like those little pockets of, something actually happened. We're not just creating a world for the sake of gameplay, but we're creating a world that looks like people in that universe actually lived in, and then gameplay happens on top of that. We've done a lot of research on the art history, on the found ornaments, on excavations that were done from Viking burials, and try to create like an authentic as possible world that feels lived in and also true to the actual history of the Vikings.
Together, we will destroy this Steinar for his treachery.
Even if you're not interested in turn-based tactics or strategy games, the narrative is also a big hook, and I hope a lot of people who is not necessarily into tactics games will also try Norse.
We're really excited about letting players experience the story that we crafted for them. We just want to take them on that journey, let them live through it, play through it, experience it for themselves. And I hope you let us take you on that same journey.
Okay, so we talked about the storytelling, and we've got the world building, and you have these deep characters that you've created, but wow, we also have this cool tech. So you mentioned in the video, you get to see the tear, the single tear roll down someone's cheek. Oh my goodness. I want to hear a little bit of some of the amazing tech that you guys have used, the satellite. You guys have used the satellites to help put together an environment that feels real and of the region.
Yeah, we've been obviously we're a Norwegian-based company. Our offices is just outside Oslo. We have the great luxury of making a game set in the environs around where a lot of our company live. So we are able to go to the places, see them, actually imagine what they were like back then, because frankly the topography and the landscape haven't changed that much. Norway is a naturally rugged and still reasonably natural country. It's got vast swathes of the most incredible landscapes that haven't changed for millions of years, and to just walk around them and to imagine the way that the people in our games would experience those spaces was incredibly inspiring. And then couple that with the fact that we can actually look at the satellite maps, we can look at the way that the land has changed in certain places. We can go to archaeological sites not just in Norway. We've been to Viking sites all over the UK as well, and just really get our heads in the space of the day-to-day life of these people. World building was really something we wanted to focus on a great deal because it meant that the characters would be more believable. It would mean that the combat scenarios would become more visceral, more exciting, because we're using these pieces of landscape that existed. Certainly the main environment, Bora, where we start out our adventure, we spent a long time actually looking at where the Longhouse was, its relation to the sea, the way that the landscape led up to there, the archaeological remains that were left in those areas. And all those things kind of just make these little tiny jigsaw pieces come together as to how you think their life would have been. We know it was harsh. We know that this was a time in history where life expectancy wasn't particularly great, and illnesses would kill you pretty quick. But at the same time, they were so resourceful in environments that were often very harsh. The winters in Norway can be pretty extreme, and yet these people thrived. And we wanted to try and capture some of that. So yeah, the technology in that respect, being able to see satellite images and be able to go and photograph the real places, map them properly, has been great. From the performance perspective, our game is Unreal 5, and it's been an incredible tool for us to be able to use from both storytelling and gameplay perspectives. And it's meant that we've got a platform where we can merge those two things very seamlessly in real time and play with the best ways of utilizing both the performances that the actors are giving and also the way that those performances slot into gameplay as well. So yeah, it's been a learning experience because we're working with technology that's incredibly new and changes very quickly. But that technology has enabled us to really kind of flex our muscles when it comes to delivering the most visceral story that we can.
Yeah, there's the attention to detail that we saw in the video when it came down to everything from what they're wearing to someone in chat says that they grew up next to Viking mounds and that this is magical for them to see that. So it feels like you guys nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, our art team and our world building team are just incredible. The work they've done is mind blowing. Every time new material would come through for us, and the narrative team to kind of look through the way that bits that maybe a story that we'd talked about have then been put into an environment. We see the environment and it would blow our minds because we could go down to the fine details of a building, the bits of rope that were on the dock of the next to the longship. It really is amazing stuff. Our teams really did excel themselves.
I imagined since you've created a story here for fans of Viking stories and Norse culture in general. I imagine that in the back of your head, you're aware that there are those people that will, they have this, or this is the exact type of material it would be, or so.
It's tricky. It's always going to be tricky. It doesn't matter what you do when you create an interpretation of any historical environment. There will always be disagreement that comes from people who are passionate about it, people who have studied it for their entire lives, people who teach it, etc. And there will be people who celebrate it. What we've tried to do with this game is, we are creating a game. It should be a piece of entertainment. And as I said before, we really have aimed at making something that's historically inspired rather than necessarily historically accurate. If we were to keep every aspect of the historical accuracy exactly within our time period, we would have very limited scope when it came to offering different types of armor or different weapons, different clothing types, because we don't, firstly, know that much about specific periods of history. We have kind of wide ballpark ideas, but then we get to the position where it's like, we are using certain helms that maybe are from 100 years later or 100 years earlier to give players that flexibility. And we didn't want to be completely shackled by the history. what we wanted to do was try and make something that felt like we were giving an interpretation of the historical world so that players could enjoy becoming part of it. Hopefully, what it does is it means that players will play this game, be inspired by our interpretation of of Viking Age Norway, and then go off and do their own research. And, you know, hopefully if they come back after that and say, well, hold on a second, that helmet was 100 years out of date. Great. That means that they've started learning about this period of history and will hopefully be even more inspired by it, or by the next thing that comes out that's, you know, that's promoting this this period of the Dark Age.
And they were paying attention. You had their interest. Yeah, so good work. Adam, I know with past projects that you've been involved in, there's been some kind of similar balance of historic accuracy and finding the fun. Is there anything from your perspective you want to add about what the challenge of that is like?
Having worked on Red Orchestra and World War II games, yeah, it's authenticity is really, like, to fans and history buffs and stuff, it's super important. But from a game development standpoint, you need to have some flexibility to be able to do stuff that is just, it's cool and it's fun. And history isn't always cool and fun. A lot of times it's can be drab and horrific, maybe even. But yeah, I mean, this is a game, and we're here to present something very entertaining and fun.
So, do we want to hit up the second? Sorry, or third? Sorry.
Yeah, I think we're on third now.
This one is more combat and roll. Is that correct?
Combat, yeah. It's battles.
Yeah. Okay.
The game is very heavily focused on melee combat.
It's constantly progressing. The narrative is building up, and so is the amount of mechanics you work with in combat.
It's a story of revenge and redemption.
We have a really cool system for executions, so you get that Viking gore in there.
We certainly didn't want to rehabilitate Vikings. I like the blood and thunder Vikings.
That is the truth of the history. They were a warring culture. You took what you wanted by force.
I took Gripper's high seat by the sword, as is our way.
I have many enemies.
Aye. So many I've lost count.
We have a wild variety of enemies that you have to overcome. Some very unique, visually distinct factions that you run across in the game.
It's good to be back.
Those two, Jarl Griper's whelps. Kill them!
All from wild men living in the forest, fighting like berserkers, bandits who will try to ambush you, to professional warriors who will set up shield walls.
You need not fear these sons of the wolf, for you are safe here with us.
There will be friends that become foes, enemies that become even bigger enemies, finding allies that can help you achieve your ultimate goal, overcoming different factions that you come across that are hostile to you, either trying to bring them into the fold or overcoming them on your ultimate goal of regaining your birthright.
Keep your wits close, and your blades too. At night, the forest favors the predator.
Do we look like prey to you?
Of course, giving the players a fun combat experience is my main focus.
A wise man knows when the battle cannot be won, Eyvind.
The biggest obstacle will be the enemy placements themselves and how you maneuver around them and use them to your advantage. You do get the chessboard feeling where each move is significant and you have to wager the risks and rewards of each placement you make. There's a lot of rich characters in Norse, and they all have different backstories and traits that can make for unique combinations in your war parties.
The balance between management and the combat is more evenly distributed than most other games. How you evolve your city is very crucial.
Using your craftsmen is very important to get the units up to par with your higher rank. You can have a fresh recruit, but as long as you give him your best armor and equipment, he will still be useful in battle. In terms of leveling up the hero characters, they have a mix of abilities from each of the classes, which can make for even more interesting builds.
And who would lead this great warband? You?
What Norse means to Arctic Hazard, it's everything right now, really. It's everyone's baby. We love the game so much, and we're giving our all to make it as good as possible.
It won't be easy, Gunnar. Nothing is easy, Jarl Ivar. But I'm with you.
I hope the impression people will be left with after playing in Norse is the feeling of unity between your allies, the feeling that the combos matters and everyone is helping each other to achieve the end goal of actually surviving in this harsh environment.
I'm most excited for players to experience victory at all costs type combat. We focus on honor in victory, but the road to that victory, everything's okay as long as you win or you die trying.
I will kill him. In your name, I swear it. Steinar Farspear will die!
Okay, guys, I know that's what you're here for. You're here, you're waiting, you've been waiting to hear about combat. So here we go. Let's talk some combat, guys. I'm gonna say, take it away, Phil. What do you have? What's on your mind?
Just how much, looking at that video, remembering just how much fun it was to create those combat scenes. We worked with a fantastic stunt team to try and make those moves feel organic. Part of our goal was to give players an idea of the scope of the ability of these people and just how brutal combat in that period was. If you took a hit from a Dane axe or a spear in the throat, it was game over in a really awful way. And that kind of is backed up with the historical research that we've done as well. There have been mass graves found where the injuries are pretty brutal. When you can see what an axe can actually do to a skeleton, and there's a really famous skeleton found with an axe hit to the head. And you can see where it's just kind of split. And you think, wow, that really would be an unpleasant way to go. We tried to, bring that to the game and make you kind of feel the hits, make it feel as visceral and as impactful as possible. Creating that was great fun, but also the other angle for us was to make sure that we were giving a real tactical experience, something that would change between one person's approach to the other completely. If someone wanted to favor a distanced approach and slightly more stealthy standoff or lightning strike, or if they wanted to go in completely with a heavy hitting group, you've got the ability to tailor your team to your own style. And I think that's represented in the character classes that we've got to play with. It gives the player the flexibility they want to approach each mission in a different way, and hopefully that will give us a lot of replayability as well, because each mission can be approached in lots of different ways tactically.
So, Adam, do you have any tips for people maybe that are kind of new to turn-based, but they see this new Viking game and they gotta get into it? What are some tips for beginner turn-based players for Norse?
Tips. It's a turn-based tactical game. You can kind of make decisions at your own pace, and you sort of do. You need to think about what you're going to do, and just like in chess too, you need to kind of think ahead and think about what is your opponent going to do, and kind of think multiple turns ahead sometimes. Each character that you're playing has a different set of abilities that really plays into the kind of cooperative effort between your different herdmen, using the different weapons, the different abilities they have to defeat the enemy. We'll be showing some of that too. So we're going to be playing the game here in a little bit.
Yeah, and I guess I don't want to take away too much time from time to play. So we could probably also take some combat type questions while you're playing. Do you between you two, do you want to do a brief view of some of the roles that you can take with the party members, or would you rather just go through that while you play? How you want to show you?
So let's we can play and kind of talk about that as we go, so people can kind of see what we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, let's not waste any time then, and show off some glorious Viking battle.
Let's get into it.
Alrighty. Okay. Let's start a fresh game.
Norway, 802 AD. A land
I see you've opted for normal, unlike me, who might opt for story. I like that there are different ways to. Oh, you too? Okay.
I get too frightened.
For protection.
I don't want an axe embedded in my head.
Courage, thunder, and war.
But yeah, so different approaches with the difficulty story. You'll get a little more time to relax and just enjoy the story. I'm guessing the combat is going to be a little less challenging.
Coasts like wolves of the sea.
Is that correct?
On story mode?
Yeah, absolutely.
Revenge.
Yeah.
For honor and reputation.
There still are battles there for those that are curious. You still do get to fight.
Of conflict.
It's just
very much so.
It's down from the mead benches.
It's still very challenging.
All Father. This is the dawn of the Viking Age. This is Norse.
With this opening sequence, we kind of wanted to reference, the idea of it being like the cyclical legacy of dynasty. It's one group taking power from the next, taking power from the next, taking power from the next, and here we see one group that's failed at the bottom of the sea, and then this new usurper moving in, doing the same thing. And so yeah, the topography we're looking at here, this is Bora, and this is all based on the real place, and satellite imagery.
It seems only a handful of summers ago, you two were running around my hall, tripping up the ale thralls. But you make a fine match, and you have my blessing. On one condition.
What condition, my Jarl?
That you have the wedding feast here, at my benches. Drinking my mead.
Thank you. Thank you, Jarl Grieper.
Jarl Grieper! Steinar Farspear has returned. And it appears your ship is still in one piece, despite my fears.
Steinar, At last.
Looking serious.
Yeah, you kind of get the idea these guys aren't up to any good.
Yeah.
Things are going to go badly from here on in. That guy there is Jarl Hauka Blacktooth. The Vikings had these sort of incredible, what we call by names, where they're almost like, nicknames. But they really were used kind of all the time by people around them. Blacktooth is another one, which we were quite pleased with.
Found yourself a woman in Hadingyadal. More than one woman. Tell me, did the Jarl Hauka serve his best ale, or the usual goat's piss?
The ale was piss, as always. But Jarl Hauka gave me a message to give to you. He says he will drink with you again in Valhalla.
Backstabber, obviously.
Oh, so dirty.
So Steinar is Jarl Gripa's prow man, and a prow man would have been his kind of best warrior, the warrior that would have taken his place at the prow of the long ship. He would be the first man into battle, and one of the most respected people in the community. And here we see that, is the least likely person to betray the leader. But Steinar's got other ideas.
Just emphasize that he would not have seen this coming, basically.
No, absolutely not. No,
Yeah.
Been the last thing anyone would have expected.
A lucky shot.
I think Arn has had his suspicions, but no one would ever think that a prow man would go to these lengths.
Spend more time with your bow and less time chasing any girl who sends a smile your way. You would not lose so many arrows in the long
So
grass.
here we meet our protagonist Gunnar and his twin sister Sigrid, who is always giving him a bit of grief, and
I'm not
a healthy sibling rivalry.
Pukes his guts up after 3 ales.
I love it.
It would take a barrel of ale to make any boy brave enough to talk to you. Come, why don't we see how lucky you are from further away?
Oh, if you like, I could stand on the other side of this fjord and still hit that target. You, on the other hand, could fall out of a boat and miss the water. Come on then, Gunnar.
Oops. All right, so we're starting off in Bora. This is just kind of a tutorial.
You shoot first. Let's see what you can do, Gunnar.
Yeah, I have to shoot first, see if I can hit this target. And of course I
didn't know I
miss.
was shooting with blind Hod today.
Of course, she used to tell you to get good.
If that was a man, he'd be 2 breaths away from drinking with his ancestors in Valhalla.
Mm-hmm. Now the Valkyries know he is dead.
Real warriors fight with swords, not bows.
Come then, warrior. Let's see if you have the makings of a prow man like Steinar. Or if you are destined to live like old Garm, sleeping at mother's feet by the fire all day, letting the fiercer dogs do the biting.
Oh my goodness, Adam, you gonna let her do that to you?
Well, I'm gonna guard. So guard boosts the unit's
triangle.
reflex, increasing the chances of blocking, avoiding attacks. Especially useful for surviving tough situations or holding the line under pressure.
Yeah, guard can get you out a lot of trouble, and forgetting to put it on can also ruin some tactical play.
Enough games. Let us see which of us is favored by brave Tyr this day.
Tyr has better things to do than watch me make a fool of you. Now fight me, Gunnar.
It's something we wanted to do was really highlight the relevance of spirituality in the game and the fact that it entered into every part of day-to-day life. It would have had an impact on every action, and you'd consider that the gods were paying attention to you, or maybe, hopefully paying attention to you if you were doing the right things.
Perhaps you will make a fearsome prowman after all.
And you? You fight like a Valkyrie.
Warhorn.
Someone is attacking us.
Fun time's over.
Yeah, so they're realizing that something is going wrong back home.
Mother. Father.
Come on, Sigrid!
Let's get to town.
Don't worry, Adam's on his way.
So this gives a kind of the first example of our kind of more free roamy aspect, movement into different combat scenarios. So it gives you an opportunity to engage with the environment, explore a little bit, and collect things, find points of interest, different things that can help move the story forward. And a chance to explore our beautiful Viking world.
I was gonna say, it gave you such an epic shot to run through yourself.
Yeah, Norway definitely has a beautiful countryside.
Y'all Greepers whelps.
Yeah, it's stunning.
Kill them!
Norway's one of those places that actually there are no pictures that can do it justice. It's when you actually stand next to a fjord and look out over it. It's absolutely gobsmacking.
So here we have an alert ability. I set this up and an enemy comes in. Gunner will attack him, like such.
Aha.
And then Sigrid has an ability called Cripple. Pin somebody down so they can't attack, or for one turn they won't be able to move. Then
Which often, when you've got someone who's been knocked down and is on very low health, you know that then someone else has got a turn coming and they could easily just move in and end that person. Crippling them can often save someone's life.
I will
crippled.
stand with you.
You know what? Let's use this ability.
Ooh.
I fear no man. Let steel sing.
So when I use engagement, this means this guy is locked onto me. And if he tries to disengage, I'll get a free chance to attack him.
Secret. I'm making a stand at the Longhorn. I bore it. It's lost.
Hurry, Gunnar!
Hurry! We must find Father. And Arn. He'll know what to do.
You can see from the fires that are starting to spread throughout Bora, Steynar's taking no time at all in making sure that the populace is going to be under his control. It was very much a time when... Sorry, go for it, Adam.
I was just going to try to explain, engage a little more here. So, Cedric is a ranged character. She's very weak when an enemy's close by. She only has like a little dagger. So to help defend her, I'm going to use engage on this guy. So if he tries to attack her, I'll get a free chance to attack him. This attack of the opportunity, that's what this tutorial is trying to explain.
I watch for them.
She said, miss me.
I spin my saga.
There's a mechanic for high ground. And this allows you to shoot over cover, get an increased chance to hit. Yeah, these are all 100%.
Hi.
When you use strength and aggression, it applies vulnerable to the enemy, which increases the damage they do on the next turn.
Nice.
As we see there, being high is useful from the perspective that you get a much better line of sight on your enemy, but also your enemy get a better line of sight on you too.
Wouldn't use cripple, these guys are too close. No. Just make sure you're... Oh, I killed him.
I'm ready.
If you're not familiar with turn-based tactical games, one of the things you really have to consider when you're making moves is the action points.
Your will.
You have a limited number, so you can't just kind of do everything. You have to think about what you afford to do. So I'm gonna get down and shoot this guy. And then because that was an execution, Sigrid got all of her action points back. So she gets to kind of go on a little rampage here.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's very satisfying once you get your executions moving. It's there's nothing quite like having that moment where you get a spectacular kill.
Here we need to get into this longhouse.
The actors are so good.
Oh, thank the gods. My children. Father.
I saw Jarl Hauke's men. They're killing everyone.
Steinar has betrayed me!
The traitorous dog wants the Jarl dog by himself.
The gods know what he promised that fat fuck Hauke to make him turn on us.
By the door! They're here! Your Creeper! We could not hold them! You must go. Get away!
No. Arn, stand with me. If we can kill Steinar, the rest will run.
Listen to me, boy. If you stay, Steinar will cut your throat. Think of your sister. What he would do to her.
We can fight! It is not lost yet.
Your Grieper knows it's essential that his children get away, because if they stay, there is no doubt that Steinar will kill them. He can't have Grieper's bloodline still hanging around to get their revenge or take him off the high
We
seat.
will kill Steinar. You are strong, father.
My fierce daughter. My Valkyrie. I will be drinking with my father. And his father. Soon enough. Listen to me, Gunnar. I know you will make it right. Blood for blood. But go now.
The little boat is in Otternook. Take it and go.
Come with us, mother.
I will not leave my husband. I love you, my children.
Creeper is mine. Bring the girl to me. Kill the rest.
Not while I live, Steinar. Out the back! Go!
I don't call him Steinar Farspear for nothing.
Yeah.
Setting him up as a bad guy, but he was just a Viking doing Viking things. This was
Doing Viking
it was something.
stuff.
We wanted to make sure that although we understand why he is the bad guy, he is actually just doing what he feels is right
I will be waiting
in his own right.
in the hall of the slain. You and your dogs!
Her scream.
If we stay, we die. Now run!
Alright, now we
The
get it.
party grows.
Now we're playing as Arn. I'm trying to get Sigurd and Gunnar to safety. We're going through the burning village of Bora.
I spin my saga.
So here we're kind of seeing some of the abilities. So Gunnar has a shield, and he can do the shield bash. And then if you push enemies into hazards or obstacles and stuff like that, it does extra damage. Here she became dazed. Very easy kill.
He can catch fire as well if
None shall break
you get him in the right spot.
I love environmental damage and traps and stuff in game. And I know it's visible that my eyes light up as soon as I see that there's a possibility I can catch someone on fire on the map.
It's very satisfying.
Here Arn has the Mighty Hue. Allows them to attack multiple squares at once. So here we have two enemies in front of me. I get to hit them like that.
Nice.
I
Guard.
stand unbroken.
Valhalla awaits.
I'm gonna focus on these guys since they're already hurt.
She's cleaning up.
Yeah. She got an execution. She got her points back. I keep hitting. I'm gonna use cripple on this warrior. Gotta keep me pinned. Oh, that didn't work.
Ooh. Brutal.
I'm trying to get over here and help Sigrid.
Odin.
So you took the axe to the head pretty well. Use this point, try to heal Gunner. It's taking a bit of damage.
Oh.
And of course now all of my whole team's over here, so now the archer's really punishing me. So I'm gonna move Sigurd away and try to take out this archer.
Fight.
I will lead you.
Actually, she put herself in a pretty good position here, for me at least. So I'm gonna use Shield Bash. And then allows both Gunner and Sigurd to team up on her.
Good opportunity to get both people attacking the same person.
Gods will see one of us fall.
What is your will?
Nice, I got lucky. I got, because that was a crit, I got execute. And I got his AP back.
I fear no man.
Yeah, one thing I found is it's super. I really love being able to get kind of tactical with Sigurd, and create little blockades that are kind of keeping her safe while she's out there just picking at everyone.
Yeah, definitely want to
satisfying.
keep the archer safe.
Odin, let the boat be there.
Hey.
See, we've got some mud.
Try to push him into Arn.
Yeah, the environments differ from season to season, from map to map as well. There are lots of different ways to use the environment to your advantage, or for it to trip you up, literally. So the thing you have to keep an eye out for. But you can kind of trick your enemy into forcing them to go through them as well, which puts you at an advantage.
Yes.
I was just going straight through that slippery mud.
He's not scared.
Apply vulnerable. Do some extra damage. Yep, killed him too.
Chat. While we're playing, we can take some questions. Some folks are asking about. I know it's not always an easy guess to guess how long it's going to take for a player to get through the game, but do you have about an idea of what maybe on normal the average new player, how much playtime there might be in the game?
Yeah, quite lengthy.
Go on, sorry.
I was going to say it's quite lengty. I mean, there's many missions. There's a settlement portion here that we're not sure if we're going to get to, but we'll try to show everybody that. I think what we're kind of expecting is somewhere between 12 to 15 hours for kind of first-time player taking the time to go through it. And, yeah.
Yeah, it also depends on your playstyle. You know, how deeply you want to investigate, how much you want to take your time tactically. You know, a playthrough for me can often take, 20, 25 hours if I'm really exploring.
Yeah, I'm not a quick player at anything. I am the player that wanders and looks at every little, what's over here? Oh, look at this little table they have set up. How cute. What was happening? I love seeing everything.
There is lots of the world to explore in this game as well. There's lots of little things that you can pick up and go, oh, well, look at that. That's very cool.
So I'm locked into this engagement with this guy. I don't want to back away or anything because otherwise he'll hit me. So I'm just focusing on healing Sigrid and being defensive at the moment so I can do something about him.
We also had a question asking, we talked about the different difficulty settings. Someone is wondering if that can be changed once you start the game, once you start a playthrough.
Not currently, no. It's something we're looking at. Hopefully that'll come with more updates.
So here, some of the missions have allies that fight alongside you. So here we kind of have some guards of Bora that have participated, and they're kind of helping you with this engagement here. Got 3 people about to attack Gunner.
Yeah, these guys are kind of giving you the opportunity to get away and not get pinned down by Steinar and his troops.
I might regret this one. I'm going to try to take the opportunity to take her down. And hopefully the guys behind me won't do anything.
Maybe they're not paying attention.
I've got a feeling they might have a go.
Alright, let's get Sigurd some safety between these two. Let's pin somebody down. Maybe this guy is far away. Stay over there. He's got a shield, so he deflected my arrow. You have to be cautious with the different units that you attack, like different types of enemies. Some have strengths and weaknesses depending on which character you're using at the time. So archers, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time against somebody with a shield.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. So it's kind of, struck me that these attacks are so brutal and stuff, and you referenced the the axe getting stuck in someone's head and whatnot. I'm just thinking the power that it would take. Not only do you have to he executed the person, and then he needs that axe back. Whoops! I just hit the knife. You have to have the strength to get it in there, and then you might need a weapon.
Pull it back out again. That's right.
Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Oof, Gunner's taking a beating. I need to.
Yeah,
need to get him healed.
Coming up with the logistics of these kills was quite. It was quite grim to actually look at some of the realities of what would happen and how you actually probably would have to use your foot to get your axe back if you put it directly in someone's head.
Yeah,
it was great fun to perform. To have our stunt performers do it live. But yeah, we're actually starting to look at the research of how these people went into combat and the kind of brutality that took place. Yeah, it was sometimes pretty grim.
I spin my saga. Thank you.
There were a few questions about what are the missions like? Are there I think they're trying to ask, are there different types of missions, or are they all mostly focused on story, or what are the different type of, are some of them like optional?
Yeah, so we've got a range of different types of missions available to play. There are a select section of story missions that are kind of the main story that you have to progress through to complete the game. But there are missions that can help you find craftspeople that might help your settlement, that maybe can improve your skill set or give you access to certain types of items. There are also missions that are about supporting your settlement, that maybe there are groups out there that are trying to or maybe impacting your way of life slightly, or it might be that they have access to a certain type of resource that you want for yourself. And so, yeah, there's quite a wide range of different things. Often, also, people will come to you with petitions. They'll ask you to help them. So, local leaders might come and ask you to aid in a dispute, or perhaps help protect from an enemy that they're facing. Yeah, so we've tried to incorporate it all into story at the same time. So every one of these missions does have a story impact, but at the same time, they might not be completely related to the main storyline throughout. Some of them are time related. Some of them you might miss the opportunity to do. Some of them you might choose not to do.
Oh, so what I hear is there might be a reason to go back and play the game if you missed out on it.
Also, like I say, throughout the missions, you can approach them in different ways, and you can approach the combat in every single one in a different way, depending on your choice of warrior, your choice of weapon, your choice of approach. So yeah, there's definitely a range of replayability outside the main storyline.
Why did Steinar betray father? He was his champion, his prowman.
Steinar was born for war. But your father saw our future in trade. Steinar had no patience for that. Are you calling our father a coward? Of course not. But Steinar, he craves the blood flame. He would whisper that Jarl Gripa denies his warriors silver, slaves, reputation, the spoils of war. By the gods, Steinar's resentment has swollen like a corpse in the heat. But I never thought he would do this.
No. We can't run like cowards. Take us back? On!
No, Gunnar. It's too late.
Look what he has done. Steinar must die.
And he will. We'll make sure of it. But we will need a warband at our backs, and the favor of the gods.
Where will we go?
I was told to keep you safe, so that's what I'm going to do. We go south, to Kaupang.
To Jarl Egil.
Your uncle has his own enemies, but he loves your mother, and you two are his blood. Aye, he will help us.
Listen to me, Gunnar. We're alive, and we have each other.
Father is dead.
I know. But we need to be strong. I need you to be strong.
Lord of Ravens, I will kill him. In your name, I swear it. Steinar Farspear will die.
We had fun filming that particular sequence where the mocap studio we were working at Target 3D in London we actually had them build us a little kind of a boat that was on wheels, so that we could actually row around the mocap studio, which became a lot of fun, but also quite complicated to get right. It meant you actually had to concentrate on what you were doing rowing rather than just pretending.
Right.
I see that we got a couple of questions here in YouTube about the replaying side missions within the same campaign. No, is the short answer. You have the ability to go back and replay them on another playthrough, or use your save games to play them in different ways if that's the way that you'd like to do it. So, I mean, you can replay them using save games in that way, but the story is a whole. So once you've had an event and you've experienced it, even though some of those might not be tied to the main storyline, they are still intrinsic in their own right to the moment or to the thing that you gain from doing it. So no, it doesn't work quite like that. You would have to use your save games to go back and replay certain missions unless you were replaying the whole thing.
We were just children last time we were here.
You two were trouble. A pair of little Lokis.
Someone else asked if
I've no doubt
I lost it. Was it YouTube? Are any characters based off historical figures or characters from known sagas?
Yeah, I mean, but it's not completely based on characters from real saga. We've talked quite a lot. There's the system in the game where when turns pass, you get information that comes at you from around the world, from travelers, the world, but from the local world, from travelers that might be passing, or from hearsay that reaches your ears from through the village. And some of those reference people like Carolus or Charlemagne, as he's also known, and a range of other historical characters that were around at that time. But we've tried to keep it realistic to the sense that actually it would have been quite an insular environment, and those people really wouldn't have had a great deal of impact on your day-to-day. It's got references to things like Christianity moving into this part of the world, and the way that certain people are looking to follow a different type of religion. But we're definitely inspired by the sagas and characters in the sagas. There's a lot of inspiration that takes place here, and often that's down to the acts of some of the people in the sagas. I mean, specifically in our game, we didn't want to try and move away from the revenge tale, because the Viking sagas are all about revenge. That's, repetitively, it's that person has to kill that person because they killed that person, and so the cycle goes on. And that being the basis of the sagas, it would have been kind of silly of us to try and go back against that, go against the Viking mythos. So, it's a traditional tale of revenge in the sense that most of the sagas were. So in that sense, yeah, we are following the platform of the sagas.
And yet, you are standing here in my home. Why did you not stay and fight?
I would have stayed and died at my father's side. Jarl Egil, your sister ordered me to take Sigrid and Gunnar to safety. Jarl Griper would not see his bloodline put out like a flame. I got them away.
And you come to me?
You have ships! Men! Together we will sail to Bora and butcher Steinar for what he has done.
You run ahead of yourself, young Gunnar. I understand your thirst for revenge. It does you credit. But you ask me to risk my herdmen, my ships. That I cannot do. Steinar will come for you. And I cannot have that trouble brought to my door.
Uncle, please!
This was not the response that they were hoping for when they went to their uncle for help. They were thinking they were going to turn straight back round with his men and go back and teach Steinar a lesson. But Jarl Egil's more shrewd than that.
She will find a way through this. She will bide her time, for she knows that revenge can require patience. For now, she will be content knowing that you two are safe. This is what you will do.
sail north. Between Fensfjord and Sognefjord, there is a place. Good land, but lawless. I won it in a glimmer contest with a visiting Jarl. Go there. Claim this land. Grow strong. Prove yourself. When you have earned wealth and a reputation, then you will be welcome here again. Then, and only then, will I help you. Together, we will destroy this Steinar for his treachery!
So this really puts in motion the path that Gunnar and Sigrid have to tread to
A little, perhaps.
start becoming leaders in their own right.
Still trembling in my veins, Uncle.
You have been through a great ordeal, and the path ahead will be hard. But I will not send you on your way empty-handed. Go down to the docks. Find Botilder, the trader. She will give you some much-needed supplies. Consider them parting gifts. And see Agnar, the blacksmith, for boar spears.
Boar spears? Uncle?
Before you leave us, you will join Bergolfer and me on a little hunting trip.
A man discovers much about himself when he stands his ground against an angry boar.
Alright, so now we're trying to get prepared to go on this wild hunt.
We should be sailing back to Bora, but instead we're going hunting.
Aye, a war band on your uncle's ships would have been nice. But for now, we will take what we can get.
Egil is right.
I heard that visitors had arrived in Kaupang. Is there something I can help you with?
We have a long journey west, and Jarl Egil has told us you can supply us with provisions.
Of course. I can provide everything a traveler might need, apart from a good wind in his sail.
We will need plenty of dried meat and stockfish. Perhaps we will have fresh meat for the voyage after our hunt with Jarl Egil.
If it is boar you are after, be careful. They are running wild in the woods near here. Savage as winter, with tusks as sharp as Odin's own spear.
Thank you.
Safe travels, and good hunting.
Alrighty. Now we need to go get our spears.
I think, you know, there's lots to explore down in this area of Bora as well. There's, you know, some of the characters you meet down here are pretty cool.
I'd rather face a bear than a boar.
Yeah, world's filling in a little with all these
The Jarl told us
extras.
to visit you for supplies for our voyage. We will build a settlement far to the west.
I'm sure I can find some bits and pieces for you. You'll be needing weapons, and tools, of course. I'll have them brought to the docks. Nord give you calm seas, friend.
Appreciate it.
There we have our boar spears. It's worth noting just how dangerous boars were in this period of history. They were more dangerous than bears. A boar would savage you incredibly badly, and they were feared throughout the places that they inhabited, and often would disrupt trading routes and stop people from being able to use certain pathways. And those spears they've just picked up, boar spears, were specifically made to stop the boar actually continuing up the spear once it had been stabbed. They would continue running and come up the spear and still attack you. So boar spears actually have a crossbar on them to stop the boar pushing itself along the spear and still attacking you.
I haven't seen her since.
We will see no board today.
Wow, that's a detail I had no idea that I wanted to know, but I'm glad I know it.
The mother will be close.
Thanks, video games.
Yeah, it's always a learning experience.
Right.
It was funny actually going through videos of boar kind of team attacks in real life on YouTube was great fun. Like, we actually wow. If anything, we're being quite tame, you know, in the viciousness of boars.
Ooh. Yeah, they're not happy.
Right, so we got a spear. Nice thing about spears is you can attack, a grid or a tile space away. So, excuse me, space by and poke the pig.
Yeah, there's a lot of love in the chats for the cutscenes in general.
Oh, thank you.
People are really enjoying them.
That's nice.
Let's try to take out all
I
the
do
piglets.
too. I'm still a cutscene person. I know it's a brave thing to say, or in some circles, but I live for the story and the stuff that kind of compels me to keep going forward in games, and cutscenes always felt like the little juicy reward for progression for me. Like, oh, got a new cutscene. What's gonna happen?
In my role as narrative director, I fully endorse that. We've tried to make it so that we're offering it to both types of player. If the player wants to skip and they want to move on, they're going to get just as much out of the tactical combat in this game. But for those players that do, like us, like to see the story develop, and like being rewarded with those little bits of cinematic kind of punch, you can do that in this game in spades.
Yeah, and no judgment on my end. If you're in it for the brutal, brutal combat and the settlement building and stuff, that's here too to enjoy.
I'll make a feast for crows.
Yeah, these boars hurt.
Yeah, they do.
So I got an execute there, got my points back.
Ooh.
Try to make the most of it. Ooh, God.
I do think I lost this mission the first 2 times I played it. I underestimated the boars.
The power of the boar.
The power of the boar is not to be taken lightly.
Let's get
You get to
some
nom nom a
berries.
little.
Let's get some health back.
And small confession, when I am in adventure mode, kind of like this part, and Sigurd's with me, she's always leading. She's always leading the pack around.
That's one of the nice things is that you can find your favorites and you can, lead with them.
Mm-hmm.
As you start developing characters and different herdmen come your way, you become very protective over them. Certainly the more that you advance, the more time you spend playing with them. And losing a herdman is really painful. I found myself going back quite a few times going, no, I can't
Nope,
lose that.
can't have it. Yep.
I can't have that.
Same.
Hauke down from his lair with meat from father's table. Hauke and Steinar's treachery will cost them their miserable lives.
I just want to hang out here without any boars to bother me. It's just such a pretty. I'm gonna picnic.
Yeah, the environments are fantastic. They really are beautiful.
Minus the boars. They don't seem like a good time.
I will wade in the blood tide.
Seem very dangerous.
Controversial, but boar sausages taste very nice. So, yeah.
I've not had it.
Well, boars, it was obviously it was due to the fact that they were hunted. They were used a lot for their meat. It would have been quite a prize to come back with a boar because they were very big.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't exaggerated boar size here. Or we have a little bit with the big ones, but you know, they were huge, and are huge, I should say. So yeah, they're definitely they make for good eating. Sorry for those vegetarians out there.
So the boar is made gunner prone, so he's gonna be out for a turn. Try to do as much damage as I can to this boar.
Yeah, he's terribly bored.
Okay, so if boar sausage is a thing, is there boar bacon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this boar charges, I'm getting in front of Sigrid to hopefully absorb the charge. Unless, of course, it goes around me.
Into the mud with you.
Show me who to kill.
Alrighty. Got 2 people down now. Oof. I was hoping that would hit.
I'm ready.
Alright, Arn. Take him down.
Get him.
Do it.
There we go.
You need some boar bacon.
Steinar, Jarl of Bora has no quarrel with you. Hand over these 2 and Spear Breaker, and we will be on our way.
Traitors! You have some stones coming here and making demands of me. Steinar is no Jarl, and you, you are but food for the crows.
I will stand with you.
Alright. These guys are kind of far away from me. I'm going to try to play defensive and see what happens here.
And eager to kill.
While you are setting up on the battlefield, I'm gonna check for any more questions from chat. Okay, chat is excited that I didn't offer bacon to everyone in chat. I don't have enough bacon for everyone, and I have absolutely no boar bacon, so you're on your own with that. Is there a leveling system for each character? Or, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about how some of the leveling works.
Yeah, when you take different herdmen, well, later on we'll kind of show, like, you kind of pick and choose different people to take with you. They all gain experience and kind of level up from being used in missions. And then as they level up, there's a skill tree, so you can kind of select different skills and abilities to basically use with a herdman. Alright, I'm getting kind of surrounded here. Let's try to take out somebody who I have a good chance of hitting. Let's hit this guy.
What is your will?
For those of you that just joined us at this point in Norse, we haven't really gotten into that part of kind of customizing the party skills and stuff like that yet. This is still kind of teaching you the game a bit.
Yeah, this is still kind of very early in the game. A lot of the mechanics are still being taught to the player.
Watching. Valhalla awaits.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I think think we lost a Phil connection.
Sword's fame will be mine.
So we'll try to get him back in here when he's back.
Valhalla waits.
Maybe he's off to get us some boar bacon, chat. There's hope.
All right.
Ready. Watching.
Got to take on a British accent.
I'm ready.
There we go.
Let's deal.
And again, I'm using the engage mechanic to kind of keep the enemies from attacking these two.
Welcome back.
Phil.
We're back. Sorry about that. That was gremlins in the internet.
Coming for you, and these will not be the last. Let us get back so that you can.
Our behind the scenes team just let us know if
Agreed.
let's see.
We have brought trouble to your door.
We need to do anything.
So we will leave. You have given us a chance.
Phil dropped.
For which we are grateful. And should Steinar come for us
Seems like
again,
it might be.
we will be ready.
Okay, they can hear you.
Excellent. Sorry about that, everybody.
So I do have to ask for chat. Did you leave to go get them some boar bacon, and where is it?
No, it's quite hard to get hold of. Wild boar sausages, they are quite. They're around. You can get those.
So here we can see
boar bacon's harder to find.
You see everybody ranked up, different stats from mission.
You are nearly ready to leave us? Yes, Uncle. Thank you. For the supplies.
And for the boat. She's a fine little thing.
I wish I could give you something bigger, but the egret is all I can spare. She will serve us well, Jarlig. Gertrud here has volunteered to go with you and serve as your guide. Believe me, there is no Fjordorvik she has not fished.
The only thing left to catch around here is lies. It is time I cast my net into new waters.
This is Ausman and Buldi. They are good boys, but they have got themselves into trouble. Ausmar stole a horse, and Buldi killed a man in a drunken dispute. The Tinget banished them, but I thought rather than wandering the woods like trolls, they could accompany you and try to mend their reputation.
Welcome aboard. We will take all the help we can get.
The land for which you are bound is rich in game and timber and all that you could need. But keep your spear close, for it is a lawless place and dangerous.
We are in your debt, Uncle.
When I return, I will have spearmen and sword fame. Together, we will send Steinar to the afterlife, where my father will be waiting for him.
Come on! Let's get this shit bucket going before Njord changes his mind.
Yeah, she's charming, yeah, Trish. She's got a real way with words.
You heard the woman? Watch over them, Arn. They have much to learn. We shall see what weird the Norns have spun for these two. Farewell, Uncle! I will prove myself! To you and the gods!
It is a strange crew which sails from Kaupang and the safety of Jarl Egel's hall and spears. Outcasts and the renegades all, and yet...
As you can see from the cutscenes and from the loading screens as well, that we've given like the player the opportunity, if they want to hang around and they want to hear a little bit more about the story, they can hear fantastic Jarl Egel, played by Anthony Hewson, an opportunity to kind of tell us a bit more about what's going on.
For he needs time, silver,
or you can skip it.
Reputation. Like a smithy.
Yeah, I could skip here, but give people a chance to read this if they want to, even though we're talking over.
To make a new blade.
Yeah, sorry,
let's get over
I was interrupted.
They will find at the end of this journey. A man cannot see what weird the Norns have spun for him. But Gunnar knows this. When he is ready, he will draw the eye of Odin himself. He will have his revenge, and the benches in Valhall will groan beneath the weight of all the warriors that he will send to the Allfather's hall.
Gunnar! This is the place.
And this is where we get the first glimpse of the piece of land that we're going to be getting very familiar with over the course of the game.
Yeah. Home sweet home. For now.
For those of you that don't kind of know about the two ravens from Norse mythology, that's Hugin and Munin, who are Odin's ravens, and they go out and bring him information to tell him about the world. They call him the Farseer, and so he's able to, or the Far Wanderer as well. He goes around collecting as much information as possible, and so those two ravens bring him that information back.
Cut off their heads.
And it's just a little nod to the Norse mythology. Could just be two ravens.
That's what you said.
Very cool.
Boys. I did not say that.
Maybe we are
It's faulty.
Maybe we will take you as slaves.
No! Please! Spare us!
I'm joking! Don't piss your trews. Who are these raiders you speak of?
They come often. Brigands with wild eyes and hungry bellies. They butcher our animals, steal our bread and ale. I thank Freya they have not yet taken me.
Maybe next time.
We did not know anyone lived here. Jarl Egel himself said we could make this place our own. Build a settlement.
I see no Jarl here. This is our home. You will have to find somewhere else.
Don't be so hasty, husband. It could be good to have these strong warriors here to protect us.
You would like that, wouldn't you, wife?
Well, husband, your own spear is bent and useless.
It just needs some attention, that is all.
We will move on and find another place.
No, wait.
Their dynamic is funny.
You know, they have a pretty volatile relationship, but as the game goes on, you realise that they really do love each other quite a bit, and you know, they kind of complete each other in their own way.
But a good farmer. He will grow your grain, rear meat for your table. I am a skilled seamstress and can make your clothes, even a new sail for your boat. But first, you will deal with the brigands, yes?
You have yourselves a deal. With Odin's help, we will feed the ravens with these brigands. Then, we will see if we can make a home here.
Perhaps it was fortuitous meeting the farmer and his family. They know this land and its dangers. They will be useful in the times ahead. Gunnar looks at the forest, rich in good timber. and at the fjord brimming with fish. He eyes the bay, imagining his own longship sitting there one day, rocking gently at its mooring. And he begins to think that this land, this gift from Jarl Egil, could be a golden thread in the weird of his life. It could be home. But first, he and his small band must test their blades and their courage. They know that you must fight for what you want. There is always a blood price to pay.
Gertrude, stay with the boat.
Listen up, whelps. You might think you're heroes, but this could turn ugly fast. Keep your wits about you.
Don't you feel the thrill of it in your blood, Ar?
All I feel is that I should have had a piss the moment I stepped off the boat.
Yeah, we've had some comments about the humor here, in the game. But Giles, our writer, his Viking books are kind of recognized for the layering of the humanity of these characters. They, just because they're Vikings doesn't mean they have to be grim, stone-faced warriors that are just bloodthirsty. These guys laughed and loved, and I think there's a misconception in history that shows that people think that people in different periods of history kind of acted differently, but they were exactly the same as us. They found humor in the day-to-day things, and they laughed with each other, and they kind of, took liberties and, made fun of each other. At the same time as dealing with the normal emotional things in life, like love and death and grief and anger, and so we've tried to include that in the characters as we go through. You can also see here in the gameplay we've got these environments that you can explore where you can start collecting resources for your settlement, and so as time goes by, you spend more time looking around trying to find things that could potentially give you resources that can help you build. There might be items that you can discover as well.
Sons of NORSE!
Here we've discovered Ormir. This man has been cornered, and we're trying to save him.
He's in a tight spot over there.
He is outnumbered.
I watch for them.
Wade in the blood tide.
Alright, this guy put up alert, so it's gonna be a little tricky if I try to move units up and paths go around. But I can also use Sigrid here to attack him, and I'll drop the alert. So next turn, when I'm using one of the melee guys, it'll be less threatening.
You've also got that slippery mud on the left-hand side, which is useful, but at the same time splits your forces slightly.
I stand ready.
A few questions asking about now that launch is here. What's next for for NORSE? Asking about things like expansion or DLC or building a sandbox mode or something like that. I know right now we're basically focused on launch, getting through launch, getting needed updates out there as they come for that, addressing issues that may pop up, that type of a thing. But we would love to bring you some more NORSE in the future in some form. But hey, show us how much you're into it. Like, we need to hear what you want and what it is you're looking for more NORSE.
Yeah, we've got some very exciting plans for the potential for ways that the game could expand. A lot of those are in place, but yeah, at the moment we're knuckling down, focusing on the release and making sure that over the course of the next couple of months that we get the game as players start playing it and give us their feedback, that we start reacting to that feedback and making it as good as it can be, which will then give us the platform with which to move forward.
Absolutely.
One of the nice things about the Viking... Sorry, Adam.
I was just going to say, if you notice here, trying to attack the spearmen, we're going to have a hard time hitting them, 60%, so I'm just going to try to focus on this guy, 100%. Anyways, Phil.
One of the nice things about the Vikings is they went so many different places. They were such a widely travelled group, which means the scope for furtherance of the game is vast, because there's no real limit to the places they can go and the enemies that they can face.
It's not how I want to go.
No.
I have a choice.
I think it'd be pretty quick.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, as long as it's quick. I don't, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to
Seen that
survive
big axe
that.
come towards my face. Would you say, Adam?
So I don't know if I'd want to survive that. Living with a big giant gash in your head.
Right?
Headache forever.
This headache just won't go away.
Get some.
We got a dropped weapon over there.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that's another thing you can do, is you can utilize the tools that have been left around on the battlefield. So you can pick up dropped weapons. There are weapons that you can throw as well.
I know there were a few questions about looting downed enemies, and what's that like? And are you saying this is essentially the type of loot that you would that would be usable?
Yeah.
My name is Gorma. These
You got the last
rancid turds are slavers. I was traveling with amber traders when they attacked our boat. They have taken others like me. Men and women who are destined for misery and pain. Will you help me weave them a different fate?
Alright, I'm gonna loot some of these guys. Rabbit's foot, nice. Actually didn't take much damage, I'm surprised.
No,
But I'm
it's
still gonna
pretty
eat some berries, heal up.
You saw earlier as well, I was chatting over it, but when Adam went over and went to the rune stone to give himself a buff, that's the kind of... people have asked a lot about fantasy elements in this game. We've kind of included faith as our fantasy element, I suppose. So your faith in a god will actually give you a buff. You might find a weapon that may be blessed by a god, or maybe have inscriptions towards a certain god, or you find rune stones that give you buffs, and because of the belief in them, they do actually have a real world effect. But yeah, that's the closest we get to fantasy.
Yeah, I like that approach. The battlefields are getting a little bigger.
Yeah, so as the game progresses, you find so many different more environmental obstacles that are in your way, and opportunities as well. So, here we've got, these guys have got more of a fortified space than we saw in Bora before, because these guys are kind of expecting trouble, being slavers. So you've got this fence on the left-hand side, which does really restrict your view. You can also, with the right weapon, you can, as you might see here, depending on how Adam goes about it, you can attack them. You can make those obstacles go away, and you can use them to your advantage as well.
Gods, I'm stuck.
I'm just gonna deflect everything. I think it's because he's wearing armor.
I will stand with you.
Right. Use Hugh. I think it'll push him up against that. Yeah. So A little 1 extra point of damage. And he's dead.
Range 10.
I'm ready.
So we've kind of moved outside of the tutorial part of the game. Now the missions are getting more complex. There's more enemies to attack. There's more kind of freedom of movement, but also just kind of more tactical space for you to kind of figure out what to do and how to defeat the encounter. I think I'm going to use alert here. Just don't really have enough action points to kind of get up and attack these two. So I'm going to let them come to me.
Hey! What is your will?
Alright.
Hey! Yeah!
Yes, AJ, we did talk a little bit about that earlier. You can approach battles in different strategic ways. AJ as asking a little bit about what that's like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of variation and flexibility when it comes to the ways that you approach or would like to approach a battle. I mean, certainly in this particular instance, early on in the game, it's a little bit more difficult because you don't have the flexibility of player. We're still, starting out. But as the game progresses and you have the ability to mold your player team in the way that you want to and equip them in the way that you want to, yeah, you can approach things very differently. And often you'll have different paths to choose, so you might approach an encounter from a different direction, which might mean that you've been through different encounters before you get there, and so your team might be in a different state, or the enemy might react differently. There are ambushes that take place. There are different people from different vantage points with different types of settlement kind of bonuses that take place as well. So yeah, there are very many different ways of approaching each individual combat situation. And also it comes down to your tactics and how good you are at kind of measuring the way that your characters react to certain enemies. So here we had a bottleneck at the beginning where you could only go one way or the other around the main obstacle, and there are people with missile weapons. They're able to damage you before you can get to them. So how do you deal with that scenario? How do you get to them and stop them from hurting you from a distance, but at the same time getting through the foot soldiers that are in front of you? So it breaks up the action in a mission like this. You've got people fighting over one side, people fighting over the other, and you might find that actually you end up with some of your weaker players in trouble. And so then the battle and the tide of battle turns to, okay, what do I do to make sure that my guys don't get killed here? Because I want to make sure that they can carry on and get better as the game progresses.
Valhalla awaits.
The other thing that also advances is your range of special moves and abilities. So knowing that you have those abilities means that you can approach situations slightly differently as well. So fighting multiple foes, for example, with your Wrecker, your 10 character, becomes something that you're going to do more actively if you've got the right abilities to be able to do it. Or perhaps you will have a more ranged group, so 2 Bogmathers that can kind of keep people at bay. Yeah, there's lots of flexibility.
Make a feast for crows.
Hey, thank you, Adam. As soon as I saw the campfire, I was like, someone has to burn. It is literally like if there is fire on the battlefield, I will throw a battle just trying to get that. That's my problem with these types of games. I love
I don't mind if I lose. I just want to set.
Yeah, I will. Just trying to get those fun environmental traps off. I will take a little damage just trying to pull those off because I love them.
What is your will?
Alrighty. Let's try to take this guy up. Of course I miss.
Oh, he's not playing ball.
Not a good spot here.
Yeah, so as you can see in this particular instance, because of the obstacles that Adam's facing here, it's really difficult to try and get people into the positions you need them to be in to be able to help the scenario, which is problematic.
The ground.
Come on, Gorma, don't die.
Trying to keep him alive. Let's do a bash here.
No more words. Only war.
Battle awaits.
It's a satisfying burning death.
I can go no further. Valhalla awaits.
Another question from the same viewer. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say I get to
Were
use
you
the
about
fire
to-
again.
Yay!
Broken.
Always good. From the same viewer, they're asking. They want to know about your inspiration for the concept behind Norse. What? Why Norse? Why this type of game? I guess.
Good question.
Blades meet.
A lot of our dev team, certainly the core founders of the company, Arctic Hazard, Terry Lundberg, who's our creative director and CEO, he's a massive fan of turn-based games like this, certainly XCOM 2, and always felt that there was a space for a kind of a different take on that kind of turn-based combat tactical game. Being obviously from Norway, the Viking heritage is, it's obvious there all the time. It's, it's part of the cultural kind of experience, and Vikings have had a bit of a cultural resurgence as well in recent years. We've seen people really trying to find out more about them. We've had an enormous amount of new information that's arisen about life during that period through archaeological finds, through new kind of takes on our understanding of Viking and certainly Scandinavian history from that period. And so I think that it was reasonably a kind of no-brainer when it came to a Norwegian company wanting to tackle a less modern sci-fi approach to turn-based tactics and to finding a fitting genre to slot it into. Vikings was one that very quickly came top of the pile, and I think there's always been a timeless love for this type of Viking character. I think part of it, I know that Giles has always sort of said this, that there's a kind of abandon to the idea of being a Viking. It's like you're not conforming to society in the same ways that most people have to. You're going out and taking what you want to take when you want to take it, and you're an adventurer. You're able to travel to different places and to encounter different people in a way that feels free, and I think sort of free of the shackles of our day-to-day existence. And they were real, so to have that in a historical setting without the fantasy element is exciting. So yeah, I think that those things combined meant that it was just an easy win to say, actually, we should be, if we're looking for a tactics game of this kind that's leaning on hand-to-hand combat, and with a Norwegian studio with that Viking heritage attached to it, it was a simple choice at that point.
Thank you for that answer.
I will stand.
Hopefully that I like the answer.
Eye sharp, weapon ready.
I feel like it shows too when people are creating or participating in the creation of something that they have a sort of attachment to that way.
I don't think it would be, I mean, it's possible, but I don't think that you could give your all to a game in this way, or to any kind of pursuit of an artistic or entertainment piece that you didn't feel that passionate about. And I know that, all of our team really have felt a connection to this. We've got members of our team that actually live in Bora, where we start the game.
Oh, wow.
And to have that connection. Oh, no, Adam. Oh, it's all over.
Yeah.
They killed Gormer.
Oh, no.
Has been
I feel strongly about that because I play Gormer, so I feel like,
Oh, no.
I felt a little bit of the pain there.
We're gonna have to ask you to reload the save.
Have had a poor end.
Just kidding.
You're through. Stay with the boat.
Yeah, so this telling of a Viking story, and like Adam said earlier, storytelling aspect of it was also very exciting to us. The fact that we are able to tell the tale that you can experience as a player firsthand in this world that we're excited about. It's been a real, a pleasure and an honor.
Awesome. Okay, we are about to hit stop time, about 5 minutes out. Any last stuff you guys are dying to tell the audience about the game? I do want to mention, in case you don't know, there is also an audiobook. If you want to know more about the Norse story, you can check out Sword Brothers. I panicked and it left my brain as I prepared to say it. Sword Brothers, also by Giles.
Giles has written this incredible prequel story to the game that really sets up some of the characters that you meet in this game as well. Sets up the relationship that we see between Steinar and Jarl Griper and Arn and characters like that. And yeah, it's out there. You can get it on Kindle. It's downloadable for free. And you can also listen to it on audiobook, on Spotify, on Audible, and all of the major kind of channels. Definitely, if you're into this Viking story, if you play the game for a bit and you think, well, I'd like to know a bit more, it's definitely worth checking out.
Watching lately, and can't end the stream without gushing over the music, which you can also get into elsewhere online. It's on YouTube as well as the Apple Tunes and Spotify as well, right? Yes.
Absolutely. Galdercraft, who are our incredible traditional Dark Age band that have done incredible music for this. We've been really blessed to have a group of such talented musicians that understand not just the music of the period, but also finding ways of making that music accessible to a modern audience using traditional instruments, and kind of giving it a modern spin at the same time. It's really very impressive. I was just saying as we went into this live stream at the beginning, despite the fact that I've heard the opening music to this so many millions of times, I still sit there going, this is great, and getting really into it. So I think that's a testament to the quality of the music. That's available on all good music outlets, and actually those guys have got their own Norse Oath of Blood album coming out with all of their music from the game in one place, which is released on Grimcross Records.
You guys go check that stuff out too. Let's see. So much Norse. So many people just excited and putting in their talent into telling this story. It's really fun. It's been fun to just see it come together. And it's here. It's here, you guys. PC. It's out now. You can go download it. You can kill Phil in game.
You can kill me. in various ways.
How many different characters can I kill that you played?
How many characters can you kill? At least 2 or 3. I mean, there's some of the characters that we shouldn't try and kill because they're your friends. But yeah, there's a couple of characters that I play that you can kill in any way you see fit.
No one in this stream would ever accidentally attack one of their allies by mistake. Not me. Never do such a thing.
Yes, friendly fire is a thing. You can attack your allies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here.
Leave it with that execution.
Is that what we're ending on? An execution? Gorgeous. Yeah. So thank you so much, Phil, for spending this time with us and talking about the game with us, helping us show it off. It's a lot of fun to hear you talk about all the insight you have for just Norse knowledge in general, and then the stuff behind the creation of this game as well. Always fun. And Adam, thank you for showing off your skills and bringing us some of your insight as well.
You say that.
Thanks for
having
Adam
killed.
It's okay. It happens. Violence. It's rough.
Yeah, I mean it's it's a challenging game, and the actions that you make are meaningful. So definitely have to think ahead.
So go get it now, guys. If you haven't already, and I saw plenty of you in chat already saying that you have already pre-ordered it and that you are just waiting for the chance to fire it up. I saw some of you during the stream waving goodbye because you just finished installing it and you couldn't wait any longer. That's okay. That's always a valid excuse for leaving a stream to go play the game that's being streamed. Good job. But yeah, thank you, chat, for hanging out. Thank you for all your support. Follow us on the normal socials. There is a Norse the Game account on the normal YouTube. We have a Twitter. There's Blue Sky, all the usual places. And then the Tripwire forums as well. And then if you're playing on Steam, we want to hear your feedback. Because like he said, now's the time. It's getting into your hands. So we'll be actioning that. So get it to us. And yeah, thanks, guys. Congratulations, Arctic Hazard.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Really excited to see what people think of the game.
Yeah, congrats.
Okay, unless there is anything I'm forgetting, which you two can interrupt me with to chime in. I think it's time to say goodbye. How do you say goodbye? What would be a Norse way of saying
well,
goodbye?
Better than goodbye would be skål, which is cheers, and to raise a glass.
Awesome. Skull, everyone. Enjoy it. Norse Oath of Blood is out now. Go get it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
My friends, this day has long been in the making. My people, the time for waiting is over. Will you stand with the ferocity of wolves? Sworn to avenge my father, to destroy Steinar for his treachery. I shall crack your skull
Then use your brains to grease my sword!
You told me that when I was strong, when I was ready, you would join me. I would fight Steinar with my bare hands. And nothing, neither you, nor the gods, nor Ragnarok itself could stand in my way!
We will see who is still standing at this day's end!